Hi guys, hope you're well. Done another little video, lots of new moves to have a go. This one's quite good if you haven't got too much space to do your Pilates in. Okay, so we're going to start in child's pose. Sitting back towards the heels. Just see if you can bring your elbows down towards the mat, your forehead down towards the mat. And just take some deep sort of belly breaths. So send the breath down towards the lower back. Deep breath. If you feel like you want to stretch and reach forwards, feel the stretch in the backs of the shoulders. Just 2 more breaths in child's pose. And then from here, we're just going to tuck the toes under. And then we're going to come up into sort of a really low kind of squat position. And we're going to go from squat, or what I call pebble, and we're going to straighten the legs, gently pressing into the mat with the fingers, just coming into that forward bend. Breathing and lift your head and shoulders, try and find a straight back. Breathing out, let your head and shoulders relax, take your fingertips towards the floor. So you can try and straighten your legs, or you can keep your legs a little bit bent. Breathing in left. Breathing out, just lower down. 2 more, breathing in left. Last one. Lift the head and shoulders. And then release. Gonna walk that back down into that pebble. Just sitting back down. And then again, pressing in gently, lifting up. This time a little bit different, just crossing one leg over the other. Bending the front knee, straighten the back leg. Same thing, breathing in. Lift the head and shoulders. Breathing out, coming down to that forward bend. And again, breathing in, lift. Nice stretch with the IT band. Breathing out, lowering down. And then just swapping those feet over. That front knee bends, that leg straight. Breathe in, lift the head and shoulders. Breathing out, just relax. Keeping that back leg straight. Last one, breathing in, lift. Breathing out, head and shoulders coming down towards the knees. Slowly uncurl. Coming back down into your pebble shape. We're going to walk the hands forwards. So we're going to go towards the push-up move. So we're going to start knees into hips, but walk your hands further forward so that they're not directly under the shoulders, they're forward slightly there. Breathing out. Bend the elbows down into your push-up, pressing into the mat, lifting up. You're drawing in the core. Go 2 more. If you can, try and squeeze your elbows in, tuck them in towards the body. And lift from there. Then we're going to just do a little bit of a chest stretch. So reaching up. If you can, circle with that round. Swap sides, reaching up. Puts a nice little twist into the body as well. Circle around. 2 more, reaching up. Circle around. Keep pulling in the core. Breathing in. Breathing out. Back into those press-ups. If you want to take that full press-up, straighten out the legs. So, coming down, forehead down towards the mat. Drawing in the core. Try and keep the shoulders down and back. 2 more. Squeeze the elbows in. Last one. Back into those circles and opening out the chest, taking the shoulders back. 2 more. Last one. And then release. We're going to come down onto the mat into the move called swimming. So arms out in front. Just a moment to catch your breath. If you can, forehead down towards the mat. Breathing out. Legs just stay nice and still here. Draw in the core and just lifting up. Left arm, left shoulder, and placing it back down. Breathing in, lift the right. And lower. Breathing in and lift. Breathing out and lower. Keep the core pulled in. 2 more. Eye gaze staying down. And lift. And lower. Now see if you can do both arms. And lower. Keep eye gaze down. Keep drawing in the core. 2 more. Really reach and stretch forward through those fingertips. Release. Try not to hold the breath. Arms still. Let's go to legs. So squeeze the left glute, lift up the left leg. You can point the toes in here as well and release. Lower down into the right. Squeeze and lift. Try and keep the leg nice and long. Point those toes. Try and keep your hips still. Good glute activation. Move this. Keep drawing in the core. So find that pelvic floor. Pulling in. So then we're going to add arms and legs. So opposite arm to leg. Lift and then release. Just breathing out, lift. You're really reaching forwards as well as up. And lift. So stay with this and keep working with the breath. If you want a bit more, it's both arms and legs lift. And it's pulsing up and down. Keep breathing. Keep pulling in the core. 4 more breaths. Pointing those toes. 2 more breaths. Last one. Slowly release. Going to sit back towards the heels. Go towards that child's pose. Forehead down towards the mat. Elbows down. Send the breath down to the lower back. So from here, going to go on our sides. So, going to go with the side climb. So, a couple of little options. I'll show you the first one. So, you're lying down on your side. You've got your heels in line with your hips, in line with your shoulders. Draw in the core. Lift your heels up off the mat. So, they're almost higher than the hips or slightly, just ever so slightly half an inch higher. Lift the top knee and lower. And you could put a band in here. You could put a little band around your thighs to give you a little bit more resistance. Draw in the core. Try not to tilt the pelvis. You should feel this around the glute med. That's around the side, the back of the bum. So keep working into your clam, working with your glute med. So the other option that I had on this one is you could lift it to side plank. So elbow into shoulder. Lift. Side climb from here. And I've still got the feet hovered up off the floor. And you're going to get a lot more work through this bottom leg. So you could take a hovered up side climb. Keep breathing. Try not to let the rib cage collapse. Let's go 4 more. Keep pulling in the core. Find the pelvic floor. And last one, release it back down. Straighten out the legs. So use the front of the mat here, nice and straight. Get the length at the back of the neck. We're going to double leg lift. Draw in the core. Pull up the rib cage. Lifting up both legs. Point those toes. And lower. Breathing out, lift. Breathing into lower. Pulling in everything as long as you can. Imagine you're a piece of celery. So stick with this move if you want a little bit more hover. Hold. Hands behind the head. And it's just a little pulse kick. A bit like you did in your swimming move. Pulsing the feet forwards and back. Draw in the core. This kick comes from the hips, not from the knees. The legs are nice and straight. Keep drawing in. Don't let the rib cage drop. 4 more breaths. Squeezing. Pulling in. 2 more breaths. Slowly release that down. We go on the other side. So we start with that side clam. So heels at level with your hips and your shoulders. Lift up your feet, tip that top hip forwards. Lift and lower. Draw in the core. Don't let the rib cage drop. So you've got that next option if you want to elbow under shoulder, lift up the hips, lift up the feet slightly. Take that side plank hovered. Drawing in the core, don't let the rib cage drop. Keep the chest open, shoulders back. You might have your band in here as well. 4 more. Keep pulling in the pelvic floor. 2 left. Release that down in that nice straight line. Ready for our double leg lift. Point the toes. Lift up the rib cage, shoulders back. Double leg lift. And lower. Breathing out to lift. Breathing in to lower. If you want a little bit more, lift, hover, hold, draw in the core, hands behind head, pulsing the feet into that little side kick. Point the toes. Keep breathing. 4 more breaths. Try not to let the rib cage drop. Keep the shoulders back. Chest open. 1 more breath. And release. Going to go onto our backs. So we're going to do a little combination here. We're going to go single leg stretch and the 100. So we'll start with a heel slide. Let's prep ourselves in. Shoulders back, length at the back of the neck, draw in the core. Heel slide, 1 leg out, bring it back in. Breathing out as you slide away, breathing in as you come back in. So you might want to stay with this heel slide. This might feel like it's enough for you today, that's fine. If you want a bit more, imprint that lower back, so a little bit more pulling on the core. 1 leg up to tabletop, other leg to tabletop. Take your single leg stretch from tabletop, so straightening 1 leg, come back to tabletop. Hands behind the head, take a slight lift, so we disengage upper abs. Look towards the knees. Take your single leg stretch, 4, 3, 2, keep drawing in the core. 1, straighten the legs. Arms straight, pulsing up and down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Single leg stretch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs and pulse. Imprint. 4, 3, 2, 1. Single leg stretch. 3, you got it. 2, 1. Straighten the legs. Pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Single leg stretch. 4, 3, 2. Keep drawing in the core. 1. Pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Single leg stretch. 4, 3, 2. Last one. And pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Arms over the head, take a full body stretch. Just stretch out the abdominals. Deep breath. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. So we're going to go to a hip twist now, but we're going to come up slightly. So elbows under shoulders, bend the knees. Feet are on the mat. Just let the knees slide across and lift. Knees across. So this is your first layer, so you could just stick with this one. If you want a little bit more, bring in that tabletop from this position, so just lift the feet off the floor. The shins are going to be parallel to the mat. Bringing that across, and there's this point when you're going to drop, but just don't go too far. Center it, breathe out other side. So just engaging the obliques, the ones on the sides. Breathe out across, and if you want a bit more, straighten the legs. Point the toes. Centering, breathing in. Breathing out across to the other side. So a little bit of a version on your hip twist. Final layer, straighten the arms. So a little bit higher. Get the shoulders back, lift up the chest. Then bring in those legs. Breathing out into that nice straightening. Stretch on the hamstrings. Quite a nice move for the arms this as well. 4 more. Breathing out. 2 more. Last one. And then release. We're going to go to a crucifix hold. So straighten the legs. Get a little bit further back. Lowering down, but you're just slightly lifted here. Shoulders back. Now hollow and draw in the core. Lift up one leg. And lower. And lift. And lower. If you want a little bit more, now lift. Other leg lift and hold. Keep breathing. Stay on that little bit of hover here. Deep breaths. Keep drawing in the core. Find that pelvic floor. 4 more breaths. Two more. And last one. And lowering back down. Lowering all the way down, we'll go to a shoulder bridge. So bring your heels a little bit closer towards your bum. Knees, feet hip width apart. Start with the pelvic tilt, drawing the pelvic floor. Gently lifting up the hips and then rocking, taking them back down. On your next out breath, you're going to pelvic tilt, lift at your hips. Bring your arms up over your head. Circle them all the way around. Link your fingers underneath. Then just really set the shoulders down and back. Lifting up the hips. Squeezing those glutes. Couple of deep breaths. If you want a little bit more, just go up onto the toes. Feel the stretch in the calf muscles. Just squeezing those glutes. Big deep breaths. Release the arms and just slowly lowering back down with the hips. Hug the knees into the chest. Just a little rock or a circle side to side. So from here we're going to go to the one leg circle. Feet down, then lift up one leg to tabletop. Just relax your head and shoulders, and we're just circling. So circle the knee, but we're circling from the hip here. So the shin stays parallel to the mat. Draw in the core. And just be aware of this other knee. So try and keep the other knee still. So your hips aren't kind of opening, your pelvis isn't moving. If you want a little bit more, you're straightening that leg, pointing the toes. If you can keep that other leg still, you can keep the core pulled in, hovering the other leg. And you can really work into this one leg circle. Bigger if you want to, all the way around. Keep drawing in the core. 2 more. And slowly release, so go to the other leg. Lifting up to tabletop. Start with the small circles. Keep the focus on the resting knee. Drawing in the core. Keep the shoulders relaxed. All the way around. So if you want a little bit more, pointing those toes. Slightly bigger circles. That full kind of progression as the other leg nice and straight. Work into those circles. Drawing in the core. Other way around. 2 more. And slowly release. So we're going to finish today in seated position. Crossing the legs or legs straight, whichever's comfortable. You want to get nice and upright. Breathing in, lengthen out the spine. If you want to sit on a block, just to get that length, that's great. So breathing in, reaching up. Breathing out, Just tilting over to one side, drop the hand, take a lat stretch. If you can, elbow down. Breathing in, lift. Breathing out over to the side. Try and keep the sit bones down. Find that length as you're breathing in. Breathing out into that lat stretch. Breathing in, left. 2 more. Last one. Into that lift. And breathing out. Brilliant, well done. Thank you so much today for practicing. I'm just going to show you something whilst I was teaching today. Show you who else has been watching. I've got BB in the dog bed. And then I've got Ro on my bed. And then over here I had Zola. Hope you have a nice day.